Welcome to the Lovestead.
Hello, welcome back to Lady Lovestead Reads. My name is Jessica, and today I am doing the JAN-uary Tag. Hi friends, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome, great to see you. If you're returning, love you. How are you doing? Let me know down below. So point A, you can still hear my fish tank air pump buzzing in the background. I haven't fixed it yet because this is real life. We've got full-time jobs. We've got a farm to manage. We've got stuff going on. I just haven't had time to replace that filter, air pump. So yeah, real life is happening and I just haven't gotten to it yet. I am planning to fix that pump in February, so we will have good audio in February. Point 2. Is it the very last day of January and I am just now posting the JAN-uary tag? Yes. Does it bother me? Also yes. Am I wearing an exorbitant amount of eyeshadow to hide the fact that I am super exhausted today? Triple yes. 3 out of 3, 100%, we are winning at life. So this tag was originally created by Jan. I will leave her information in the description box down below. Definitely check out her channel. She's so fun and quirky. I just love her. And let's go ahead and get into the questions. Question 1, the first and last book you read this year. So like the last book you read in 2021, first book you read in 2022. I got you. The last book that I read in 2021 was Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. It is part of her Grishaverse. The Grishaverse starts with Shadow and Bone, then it's Six of Crows duology, and then it wraps up with the King of Scars duology. I gave this book 4.5 stars out of 5. I absolutely enjoyed every minute of reading this. I just wanted a little bit more of a certain something at the very end, but otherwise very much enjoyed this book. The first book that I read in 2022 was Frostheart by Jamie Littler. This is a middle grade fantasy. The main character is Ash. He lives in this like polar dystopia. He lives in a polar dystopia and he has a guardian yeti named Tobu. They end up boarding a ship called the Frostheart and having a lot of adventures. And I liked this book. It was fun. I love winter settings. I found the pacing a little bit at parts. It didn't completely engage me, and I honestly don't know if it was the book or if it was just my mindset at the time, but I ended up giving it 3 stars out of 5. I do recommend it. Like, I recommend it to anyone who likes middle grade fantasy because I think many people will absolutely love this book. I think just at the time that I read it, it just wasn't hitting me in the right places. You know what I mean? Question 3, 3 reading goals for this year. So the first reading goal that I have is to binge read series because I'm one of those people who has that bad habit of starting a series and then walking away from it and then coming back to it and having to reread everything that I've read in order to catch up to the next part of the series, right? So my goal this year is to binge read series so that I don't have that space in between books where I forget important details. My second goal is to read more Kindle Unlimited books. I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, so I would like my Kindle Unlimited books to be about 40 to 45%, if not 50% of the books that I read, so that I am getting my money's worth out of that subscription. And then my third reading goal is to find like my niche genres, just to keep really refining what I like to read and leaning into those genres. Question 4, your 3 most anticipated titles. I do have 3 titles. So the first one is Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. This is the second book in the Amari and the Night Brothers series, and I'm very excited for it. It is a middle grade fantasy about Amari who has magic, and there's like a magical institute that she goes to. So it's a really fun, at least the first one was like super fun, really wonderful book. Took the world by storm, kind of middle grade, and I'm really looking forward to the second one. The next book is Silverborn, The Mystery of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is the 4th book in the Nevermore series, which is one of my favorite middle grade series of all time. So I'm absolutely looking forward to getting my hands on that one. That's about Morgan, who is whisked away to this magical land, and it's called Nevermore, and she goes to a magical school and she goes through all these trials, and there's like a bad guy. Like, it's very Harry Potter parallel. It's, if you're looking for something that kind of fits that need and you're not wanting to support J.K. Turfling, Nevermore is a really good alternative to the HP. And then the third book I'm really looking forward to is Listen to Me by Tess Gerritsen. This is the 13th book in the Rizzolian Isles. If you have been watching my channel, you know I am obsessed with the Rizzolian Isles series. It is my favorite mystery thriller books of all time. I'm doing a series reread of the series to prepare for book 13 coming out, and I will probably reread this series every time there's a book coming out because it's just that good. So I'm really excited for the 13th book to come out. I will gobble that one right on up. Question 5. What goals did you or did you not meet last year? So the first goal that I met was to read 100 books. I read 165 books, so ka-ching. And then there are 2 other goals that I just did not meet at all. The first one was to read all of the Miss Marple series by Agatha Christie. I read 2 of them, and there's like 12 or 13. I read 2. So big fail there. And then the other goal was to read more cookbooks and do cookbook vlogs. I did 1 of those. So that was another big fail. But it was one of those things where those goals just kind of didn't become important to me. You know what I mean? Like, there were 2 goals that I set that I thought would be fun, but as the year went on, they just didn't interest me as much. They didn't feel as important to me. So I don't feel bad about letting them go. I think it would have been not fun trying to tackle both those goals. So 1 out of 3 goals met, but I'm happy with it. Question 6. Are there any 2022 releases you have no desire to read? I'm terrible about keeping up with new releases. I really only know of the release coming out from my absolute favorite authors. So I guess no, there aren't any coming out that I know of that I'm like, because if I'm about an author, I'm really not going to keep track of what they have coming out, because I'm bad about keeping track to begin with. Long story short, the answer is no. Question 7, are there any reading habits you want to change? No. I blew my reading goal out of the water last year. So I'm going to continue with the reading habits that I have developed because they are working for me. Question 8, are there any adaptations you're excited for? I don't really watch TV or movies because I'm either tending to my farm, riding my horses, gardening, or reading. So no. Question 9, favorite bookish memory of last year. I think my favorite bookish memory is just getting more involved in BookTube. So getting involved in things like read-alongs and reading challenges and readathons and book clubs and doing buddy reads and just like meeting all of you and making some really good friends who also read. That was honestly the best part. I know that's like everybody's answer, but that's like the truth for me. That was probably my favorite part of my reading life in 2021. And the last question, do you have any carryovers from last year you still plan on finishing? No, because I wrapped up Crooked Kingdom right on the 31st. And I wasn't reading anything else, so I started fresh on the 1st. So I guess my answer to that is no. Alright, that is the JAN-uary tag. Thank you, Jan, for creating such a fun tag. I would tag people, except it's the last day of January, so maybe I'll tag you next year. Until next time, make sure that you continue to read good books, drink good coffee, take care of yourselves and each other.